I'm already a widow or divorced, so how can that impact my Social Security claiming strategy? Believe it or not, there's impacts here as well. And I've had people attend my classes live and just had an aha moment and didn't realize that there was a benefit out there from a divorce that they were entitled to that they weren't collecting on. Didn't even realize it. So it's been very helpful for folk. So and let me just say this, very clearly in the insight number 4 here. If you're widowed or divorced, you may be eligible for survivor benefits that you're not aware of. Divorced spouse survivor benefits, or divorced spouse benefits that can increase your monthly check. So it is worthwhile to understand kind of whether or not you're entitled to those. Survivor benefits. So there's 2 key factors here with survivor benefits. One is the survivor benefit is going to depend on the age at which the deceased spouse originally claimed this benefit, which we call the original benefit. And what that means is that if the deceased claimed before their full retirement age, the survivor benefit is going to be limited. And how is it limited? Well, it's going to be limited to the higher of the deceased spouse benefit, or 82.5% of the PIA. If deceased claimed after full retirement age, the survivor benefit will include delayed credits. Let me say that again. If the deceased claimed after full retirement age, the survivor benefit will include delayed credits. Now, the survivor benefit, that was just one key factor. The second key factor is the age at which the surviving partner collects their benefit. So if the survivor claims before full retirement age, the survivor benefit will be a fraction of the original benefit. And remember, I mentioned you can collect a survivor benefit at age 60. I'm not recommending you necessarily do so, because then you'd only get 71.5% of the PIA. If the survivor claims at full retirement age or later, the survivor benefit will equal 100% of the original benefit. When you claim your survivor benefit makes a big difference. And there's planning to be done here with regard to how to maximize or optimize this. And if you're in a situation where you've just recently lost your spouse, I would encourage you to please meet with somebody. I'll put my hand up. Certainly, I do these presentations a lot, but meet with someone to understand what your options are as far as how you can collect. Okay. So very simple. Again, I like these examples because it gives people a good idea of kind of how it works. So Joe and Julie married, both are over full retirement age. Joe's benefit is $2,800. Julie's is $1,500. Joe passes away. Julie notifies Social Security, and her $1,500 benefit is replaced by a $2,800 survivor benefit. So she does not get both. She does not get the average of the two. She gets the higher one. But I hope you can see that the family's income just went down $1,500 because you don't get both checks. You get the higher one. Here's an example of delayed claiming. So same thing, Joe and Julie. Joe's P is $2,800, but now he delays. He came to my class and he delays his benefit and he collects it at $70. So instead of getting $2,800, he goes and gets $3,472, $3,472. Now he passes away. Well, her benefit, Julie's benefit, is not $2,800. It's the $3,472. $600 before cost of living adjustments, $600 more, actually $672 more than otherwise. I think that's huge. I think that's a big deal. And I think it's worthy, it's a worthwhile endeavor to plan this a little. And incidentally, I will make this side comment. What I have found is people plan their vacation trip to Disney each year. They spend more time doing that than they do planning this. I think this is hugely more beneficial than planning vacations. But it's just a matter of people sitting down and doing it. I think it's that critical. I really do. Okay. Rules. There are always rules around, different claiming strategies. So here are the rules around survivor benefits. You had to have been married at least 9 months at date of death. Okay. Survivor must be at least 60 for reduced benefit. I said it before, you can't collect Social Security age 58. The earliest you can collect, and that would be on a survivor benefit, is 60. On a regular benefit, it's age 62. Okay. Survivor benefit not available if widower remarries before age 60. So this was something that actually occurred where a couple, woman was in the meeting, and I said that line. And she said, "Oh, that's what happened," right out loud. And I asked her, "Could you reiterate, or could you expand upon?" She says, "Well, I married at age 59. I remarried age 59, and the benefit that I was receiving stopped." And she had indicated to me that she had no idea, that she would be associated with the new spouse upon her marriage. The old spouse was no longer, it was no longer her. She no longer got the benefit from that. So just word to the wise, if remarries for age 60, that was what happened there. Divorced spouse survivor benefit is available if the marriage lasted 10 years. So you won't get a divorced spouse benefit unless you are married at least 10 years. And they do track that. So to prove that, you'd basically show up with your marriage license, and you would then also bring in the divorce decree, and they would see if there's 10 years. And if as long as there's at least 10 years or more, you would be entitled to a divorced spouse benefit. That's what I alluded to earlier, that there were folks in the room when I did the presentation a couple of times weren't aware that they were entitled to a benefit until I made that statement. Yeah. Okay. Divorced spouse benefits, same as spousal. Marriage had to be last at least 10 years. Person receiving divorced spouse benefit is currently unmarried. Again, once you marry again, now you're associated with that new spouse. The ex-spouse is at least 62. And this is a really important point right now. If divorce was more than 2 years ago, the ex-spouse does not need to have filed for benefits. I have it still said to me time and time again, "Well, my ex hasn't filed for their benefits, so I can't get any." That's just not true. That's just not true. Read number 4 again. If the divorce was more than 2 years ago, the ex-spouse does not need to have filed for benefits for you to get yours. That's just a true statement. That's how it works. Please be aware of that. Rules for divorced spouse benefits: more than one ex. I actually call this slide my Johnny Carson slide, and you'll see why. More than one ex-spouse can receive benefits on the same worker's record. I think Johnny was married 4 times, and each of the marriages he had did last 10 years. So he had 4 wives collecting off his record, and it didn't affect their benefit. It didn't affect his benefit. Benefits paid to one ex do not affect those paid to the worker, the current spouse, or other ex-spouses. Well, that's Johnny. That's Johnny Carson right there. Divorced spouse benefits stop upon remarriage of spouse collecting benefits, not upon remarriage of primary worker spouse. So those are the rules around divorced spouse benefits. You may be entitled to a benefit. I don't know. But if you're not collecting one and you were married to someone for a minimum of 10 years, you very well could be entitled to a benefit. All righty. Gee, this is really more complicated than I thought. Well, it is. So kind of a brain teaser for you. In life, would you rather, number 1, be early or delayed? And number 2, pay a penalty or get a bonus? Well, most people that I know would like to get that bonus. So there are bonuses called delayed credits that you can receive. And in the case of collecting Social Security, being early is not good. Don't go at 62. Go at full retirement age. Be delayed in how you collect, because you'll collect more. So that's kind of where that's coming from. And again, I'll just reiterate the problem here, and this is kind of my wrap-up review. People are just hurting themselves with regard to what they could be getting in retirement income on a guaranteed basis. Social Security is going to come in the door every month. And not only that, it'll come in on a cost of living adjusted basis. I think everybody should be taking full advantage of that and maximizing what that check is. I think that's critical. So key insights here, I'll leave these with you. One, Social Security offers inflation protected income you can outlive, including benefits to survivors. Your monthly benefit will be reduced if you claim quote unquote early. So I would tell you not to do that unless, of course, you need the income. I do understand that if this is your income source, then this is your income source. I do get that. Couples should always maximize the higher earners benefit for the surviving spouse. Notice I did not say male, female, I said couples, because that's changing. It used to be the male was the higher earner. Now the female is gaining traction in a big way. It's really wonderful. Okay, and then lastly, if you're widowed or divorced, please be aware there might be something that you're eligible for that could increase the check you're getting or create a check for you. So please be aware of that. All right, very good. All right, everyone needs, and I'm telling you, I think you really do want to pursue this personalized kind of Social Security run that I do for people. It'll help you figure out overall in your planning of what to do, and I'd be happy to run it for you. Again, just reach out to me. I'll be very happy to do that. And you want to consider Social Security in the context of pensions. I understand that's a dying breed. A lot of people aren't getting pensions anymore, but you want to understand it in regard to IRAs and 401ks, your RMDs that you have to take, your investment portfolio, and whether or not you want to work. I had mentioned that the accumulation of money in many ways is a lot simpler than the decumulation, the transfer of wealth out to yourself to live on. It's much more complicated transferring the money out of what you save than putting the money in. There's many more considerations. All right, so a word about the folks at Social Security. They can estimate your benefits, of course. They can tell you the amount that you're going to be entitled to now. They really can't do future benefits through scenario planning. I do that. They don't know you. They don't know the other assets you have that you might be able to work from. They have no idea of your medical history. These are things that I would inquire about just to see if I can get an idea of kind of longevity and how long you're going to be with us to help understand what a maximized claiming strategy might look like. I can help with strategies to produce the income that you need. That's basically what I do. So when should I apply? Let's wrap this up here a little bit. When should I apply for Social Security? Well, I'm hoping that everyone is using the word depends, that it depends on what your situation is, but I'm hoping that you've seen the attributes that you need to consider in order to create a successful claiming program. What if I want to keep working? Well, listen, be aware of the earnings test. If you want to collect your Social Security and continue to work, be aware there's an earnings test if you do that before full retirement age. What if I've already applied? Oh, interesting. So this is one that has come up in the past. So can you do a do-over? Here's a question. If you've already applied for benefits and you've now listened to my presentation here and you said, you know, I probably don't need this check. Can you do a do-over? Well, the answer is yes, but you'd have to do it within 12 months of when you started. So if you started taking your Social Security check in the fourth quarter of 2023, you're a couple of 3 or 4 months, 5 months into it, you absolutely can give the money back and you can start over again as if you never started, okay? And you could start getting those delayed credits, all right? That's very common. If you're already more than 12 months into taking distributions, then you can't start over. Part of starting over, though, you'd have to pay everything back, no interest. You'd have to pay everything back that you received, and you'd begin again. So, all right, how much will my benefit be? Well, it depends on what age you start, and how much you've put in. How can I coordinate spousal benefits? Well, take a look to see if it's 50% higher, 50% of the primary insurance amount, where you have that hybrid strategy, or you have that maximization strategy. You can coordinate between the two. What is my best long-term strategy for my situation? That I can't answer on the call or on the presentation here. I would need to probably get together with you on that complimentary meeting and kind of discuss, well, if these are your social security numbers, here's strategy. I would need to discuss that in more detail with you. What do I do next? I'd recommend reach out to us and see if you'd like to have that optimization social security analysis run. Be very happy to do it. We can email it over to you. You could come in and meet with us. We're in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Be very happy to do that. Whatever we can do to assist. I do think this is very important planning. One of the questions I do get in the past is from folks is that, well, you're a financial advisor. Why are you doing this presentation? To be very frank with you, I'm doing it so that I can make my life easier. And what I mean by that is that if I can get and maximize what I get out of the Social Security system, I make your portfolio then work less hard. What I mean by that is that I don't have to have you as heavily in aggressive equities in order to make an income stream for you. I can be more conservative in how we invest your portfolio so that we have greater certainty on how the income will work for you. The more that I can get from Social Security, and if I'm solving for this and I'm getting this much out of social, well, that just leaves a smaller gap for me to satisfy. So it's really meant to maximize what we get on a guaranteed basis from our Social Security friends, the federal government, in order to let your portfolio not be as risky as it otherwise would have to be. That's kind of why I do it. And I enjoy it very much. I've come across many situations where we're able to help folks with this, and I do think it's an overlooked planning opportunity. It's too important for guesswork. So again, I would recommend you come and chat and see if we can help you with this. Be very happy to do it. Thanks so much for listening and tuning in, and I hope to see you soon. If you'd like to come in person to one of our presentations, westminsterwn.com, www.westminster.com is our website. You certainly can go on there and see when the presentations are that are coming up. I'll leave this up.